I'm going to go out on a limb and say that 99% of SaaS companies are running ads the completely wrong way. And I'm not saying that to be controversial. I say that because I speak to SaaS founders every single day who tell me they've wasted thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars on ads. And every single time it comes down to the same three reasons, which I'm going to break down in today's video. Now, before I get into it, I'm Alessandro Crutri. I'm the founder and CEO of Textuasive, where we've helped 50 plus B2B SaaS, AI, and tech companies generate millions in revenue and in pipeline using paid ads. So everything I'm sharing today comes from lessons I've learned in the trenches working with real clients. So if you're already running ads or just thinking about it, then this video is for you. So let's talk about the three reasons as to why 99% of SaaS companies fail when running ads. The first reason is their cold traffic offer. Now, this is so important when you're running ads because your offer determines almost everything. You could have the weakest creative in the world. You could have the weakest landing page in the world. But if you have a strong offer that's credible, that's believable, that people actually feel like they can get working with your company, it's going to 100% get them over the line, and it's going to make booking calls way easier, plus closing deals. When you have a good offer, it helps with both parts of your acquisition, not just booking meetings. And so what a good offer looks like, it has these typical components, right? It is focusing on the outcome. Next thing, it has a specific time frame. It's easy to understand, and it has some form of risk reversal tied to it. So I'm going to talk about these a little bit each in depth so you understand. So first of all, focusing on the outcome. You want to make sure that this is actually what your ideal prospects want. So this is what they want, right? Because if they don't want what you're offering as an outcome, then it doesn't matter if you focus on the outcome because they don't ultimately want that outcome, right? So if I'm a manufacturing company and you're telling me that you're going to help me clean my floors and they're going to be 99% cleaner using your solution, I don't care about that because that's not an outcome that I'm looking for. I mean, sure, there's maybe a small percentage of the market that's looking for that outcome, but you get my point. You want to make sure that you emphasize on an outcome that is actually relevant to your ideal client profile. The second thing is you want to put a time frame. Now, you can not have a time frame, but typically some of the best ads that we see always have some form of a time frame because it really elicits a response from your target market to understand how quickly you can get them that result. So for example, if you say that, hey, like we can help, come inside your manufacturing business and give you an AI software that increases your efficiency. And I'm just coming up with something on the top of my head within the next 14 days. Or let's use a better example. Let's say like you're selling like AI powered search, right? So you say, hey, we can set up our AI powered search on your website within your manufacturing company within 7 days, right? So what that does is it allows people to understand that this is a quick result. People like quick things. They want things to happen quickly. And so you want to focus on the fact that you can get them this result and you can get it inside of this time frame. Now, the next thing is you want to make sure that it's easy to understand. So if you throw a whole bunch of jargon whenever you're explaining your offer and you can't explain it to someone that's walking down the street and they're not going to explain exactly what it is that you do, then it's too hard to understand, right? So you want to make sure you're really breaking down the offer to make it easy to understand, make sure that people that aren't even in the target market can actually understand that as well. And so because that means that it's not as complex. And the next thing is you want to make sure that you have some type of risk reversal, whether that's a guarantee, whether that's something else that you can form as a risk reversal that is going to help you get people to book a call with you, especially if they've been burned by a similar solution, or it's going to also help them close with you as well, close a lot quicker, because even a cold traffic offer will help you close deals quicker, right? A lot of times that I come inside and audit sales processes, the issue is the actual offer, what they're selling on the call, people don't like, and it's causing them to, have to do multiple meetings and having super long sales cycle is ultimately just going to impact your sales. So that's the first of the three reasons as to why people are failing with paid ads. Now, hey, real quick, if you're watching this and you're realizing your ads have been falling into one of these traps, that's exactly what my team and I come in and fix for SaaS companies. We audit what you're doing, rebuild the system the right way, and we guarantee to get your ads profitable within 90 days, or we work for free until we do. So there's a link below to book a call with our team if you want us to take a look at your situation. Anyways, let's get back into it. The second reason as to why people typically fail with paid ads and how to make sure you don't make that same mistake is they're using weak creatives. Now, when I say creatives, I'm referring to both like either LinkedIn ads or Meta ads itself, because those are typically heavy creative platforms just because the fact that these are disruption-based advertising platforms. And so what I see as a core issue is a lot of companies, when they're filming, they don't have a good mic, they don't have a good setup. So what I mean by weak creatives is that first of all, they may not have a good setup to record ads, right? Or they have no diversification. So there's no diverse ads. There's only talking head ads. There are only selfie style video ads. When you're pairing a weak creative with, for example, a weak offer, then your ads are never going to work. So the best combinations of things when you're thinking about creating winning ads is having good offers plus a good creative. Because if you have a good creative, that is about 50% of the work, right? So I typically will say that it goes 50 and 50%. If you have a really good offer, but a bad creative, you can still get results. If you have a really bad offer, but really good creative, you can still get some results. But if you have a good offer with a good creative, this is where you really just knock out of the park and you book like $100 cost per qualified book demos. So these are the two components that are really important. And so you want to make sure that you have, different style of formats. So you have, selfie style videos, you have talking head videos where it's like in a studio, comment reaction videos, case study videos. You have different style of videos that you can test and different formats to see exactly what it is that resonates best with your target market. And then you can scale that up. The biggest thing that you want to make sure that when you're doing all these ads, that you look professional, you look the part, and that you also have good editing as well with these ads. That's going to really help with getting people to watch your videos and really understand your overall offer and messaging. Because the biggest thing is these advertising platforms want your ads to actually look like content. So when you have really good content in terms of your ads and people are consuming them, the ad platforms want to push your message more. They want to get more people in front of your ad because people are watching, people are sticking around. And so you want to understand that creating good creatives and good content is only going to make it easier for these ad platforms to actually push your ad, which is then going to be better cost per clicks and a better overall result for you guys. So remember, good offer plus good creative is really going to be the key to making sure that you can get really good results on the ads that you're running. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about as one of the reasons as why a lot of people fail when running ads is your sales process. And if you can fix this and you can have a dialed in sales process, you will make so much money from ads. People will think that you're actually doing something illegal. And so you have to make sure that your sales process is dialed, because if it's not, you're going to lose a lot of money or you're just going to be not as efficient as you can be. So for example, like what is your pre-call sequence? This is super important. Like before the actual call itself, do you have a confirmation page? Do you have an automated email sequence to go out? Are you doing manual outreach, right? This is so important. Like so many people aren't even doing manual outreach. They're just relying on automations, but you should have both. Automations plus a confirmation page. That's going to give you the biggest chance of, first of all, getting someone to show up to your call, but also show up warm to your call. You want to be tracking these important things when you're running a sales process: is your show rate, your qualified rate, and then your close rate. Also, I should probably include your sales cycle as well, because that'll tell you your sales velocity. But these are the most important metrics that you should be tracking when building out your sales process and being optimizing for each. So your pre-call sequence, that's going to optimize your show rate. Now your show rate is super important because if you're getting more people to show up for your calls, it's pretty self-explanatory that if you get more people to show up, you're gonna be able to pitch more people, you're gonna be able to make more deals. So a lot of people don't have manual outreach going out. You should be calling your leads twice as soon as they book a call. You should be sending them a text message. You should be following up with them so you can get in contact before the meeting itself. Qualified rate, this one is going to be more influenced by the ads themselves. So for example, if your ads and your creatives are bringing in super unqualified people, then there's an issue. You typically want this to be around 50%, meaning that 50% of the meetings that actually show up are qualified as an SQL. Show rate is going to want to be around 70% plus, right? If you have anything below, it means you have a pre-call process issue. Now your close rate on qualified traffic should be 25% plus. So that means out of the 50% that are qualified, you should be closing 25% of these. So if you're not closing 25% of them, it's broken down into a couple of issues. Is your offer, good, right? Do people like your offer? Are you bringing them through a sales process? Actually, like, do you have a discovery and a demo process? Discovery that's actually good. Are you going in and figuring out what their pain points are? You're not just product dumping. Are you doing a good demo that's actually showing exactly the value you can provide? Are you building the sales argument in their head on that sales call? So that's super important. And then the next thing is, are you warming them up before the call itself? You have to make sure that, a lot of people will say that, oh, these leads aren't good. And the leads aren't good because maybe they're super skeptical coming in. They're not nurtured. They don't understand what it is that you do. But if you can actually nurture them before the call, you can make sure that you're sending over pre-call assets, making sure that they show up knowing what it is that you do. They're going to be way easier to close. So these main things are going to be affecting your close rate. So if you can warm these people up, if you can have a good sales process, and you can make sure that you have a good offer, it's going to be easy to close at 25%. And then your sales cycles are going to be a byproduct of that, because if you have a good offer and you have a good sales process, your sales cycle shouldn't take a long time to get people to make a decision because it's super clear on what you do. You're super clear on how you can help them. And so those are the main three things that you want to be optimizing for. And these are how you can run ads better than 99% of the people if you have these things dialed, like your sales process, your creatives, and your cold traffic offer. Okay, so let's recap what we just covered. Most SaaS companies are wasting money on ads because of the same three mistakes, and none of them are about budget or targeting. They're all fixable if you know what to look for. When you fix these three things, right, you stop bleeding money. You start getting qualified demos booked, and your ads actually become an asset that compounds over time instead of a cost center for your business. And look, knowing what the problems are is one thing. Actually going in and rebuilding your offer, your funnel, and your campaigns the right way is a whole different animal. So if you're a SaaS company and you want our team to come in and do that for you, there's a link below to book a call. We'll walk through exactly what's holding your ads back and what it would look like for us to fix it. Other than that, make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe for more content. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Ciao.